welcome to the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein. This is episode 19 of the podcast, and we have a very special guest today. This is Josh, my hubby, and I will be asking him a few questions and quizzing him on all things yarn and yarn shop. So it's going to be pretty fun. I got the idea from Diane, Suburban Stitcher, who got it from, I can't remember who. So it's kind of been this off and on trend in the podcasts to interview the husbands of either indie dyers or yarn shop owners or just fiber fanatics. And so, yes, you get to see what I get to put up with. Ow. Such a goofball. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you enjoy this, please hit subscribe. He's normally not in the episode, so if it's a weird one...
Probably will be.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, I guess. So anyway, if you can't tell, it's cold here. Yay! So I'm wearing all the knits. This is hand knit, but it is not hand knit by me. I got this in Ireland at a yarn store. Or no, at a Woolen Mills, actually. Okay, so I have 0 notes to ask questions for Mr. Josh. But first off, when did you find out I was interested, or I'll say slightly obsessed with knitting?
When we were dating.
And did you think that was weird?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
It was obsessive.
Well, clearly you don't think it's too obsessive now. I mean, I do this for a living.
Correct.
And Mr. thought this was obsessive is dyeing his own yarn. And of course we sell that in the store, Red Stag Fiber. So what made you go from my wife has the weirdest hobby ever to yes, you should open a yarn store / I also want to start dyeing yarn?
I like the colors. I am a kind of creative guy, so it was an outlet to be able to use my hands and create something that Sharon could use. That's
true.
why I did it.
It's true.
Or am doing it.
Yes, you still do it. And you'll be dyeing up some new colors tomorrow in the next few days, right?
Dyeing some Christmas colors up. That should be
Yay.
exciting.
Awesome. What is the most favorite thing that I've knit? Your most favorite thing that I have knit, whether it be for myself or for you or whatever.
My favorite would be what you are making right now.
For you?
For me.
Okay. And we'll show you that in a minute. That's the Mount Auburn cardigan. What is the least favorite thing that you have seen me knit? This will be interesting.
Some of the oversized sweaters.
Ergo, Tecumseh, May sweater, basically all my favorites. But doesn't matter. I still like them, and I still wear them. Let's see here. What other question? Do you ever think people think it's weird that I do what I do?
Some do, I'm sure, but once they know what it is,
Yeah.
they understand it.
Yeah. It's true. I have gotten a few, you do what? And then they'll always follow up with, but isn't it hot in Texas to knit? Or to have a yarn shop? Like, nope. It's something that you do year-round.
But it is hot.
Well, yeah, to wear everything. Yes, you don't want to wear it in 90 degrees. But today is one of those days where you get to wear all of your hand-knit items. So that's awesome. What else? Is there anything that you would like me to knit for you? in the coming years that I haven't knit yet or you want more of?
It's not.
Okay, yeah, no, it's recording now. Okay. So for some reason, now it's crooked. For some reason, it just decided to... Okay, well, let's not make everybody dizzy. Now it's really crooked. Josh.
I'm trying to make it even. There, now it's even.
That does not look even.
Oh, look at the lines here. That's way off.
Oh, yes, I know.
Still off.
That's not off.
That side is smaller than that side.
It's not off. Anyway. For some reason, it quit recording, and I think I was saying the things that I've knit for Josh. So I have knit him several pairs of socks. I have knit 2 or 3 hats, I guess, now. I think 3 hats. You do have a scarf, which the scarf was actually the first thing I ever knit Josh. This was still back when we were dating. I knit him a blue cabled, or actually it wasn't truly cabled, it was like a smocked big long scarf thing. I don't think you've ever worn it, actually.
It's pretty bulky. So
it is kind of bulky.
It's not quite cold enough for something
Yeah.
that bulky.
And then, of course, I'm in the process of knitting you the cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you might want? Either more hats or a less bulky scarf wrappy thing?
This bulky scarf would be good.
Yeah. Okay. Might do that.
So that's easy to knit up.
It wouldn't be too hard. Do you think you will ever learn to knit?
It's not totally out of the question, but
You have no plans?
at this time I have no plans.
No plans to learn to knit. We'll get you converted eventually.
But I've only been a part of the knitting world for 2 years.
No, I think he might actually one time weave. You tried it at that shop.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was easy.
Yep.
Not much to it.
Mm-mm.
Kind of feel like I'm cheating.
Yeah, but you get a really cool thing at the end.
Yep. Square.
Or rectangle. Make you a scarf. You could make your
I could.
own woven scarf.
Could.
Just need to get a Regitada loom.
Could.
Okay. Well, let's see. Did you have any idea? Has nothing to do with the shop, but did you have any idea how much yarn cost before I opened in the shop? Or, I mean, obviously once we were married, you kind of figured that out, but
No,
did
I
that
had not.
surprise you?
It did. Yep,
How much money I spent on yarn and
it did.
knitting and goodies?
I looked at the bank account.
Yep.
Yep.
What's my favorite yarn store?
All of them.
Well, in order, it would be my own,
Okay, I'm sure.
and then some others. There's a few that I want to go to.
Yes.
What are the ones I want to go to?
One's in other states.
Yes, that is true.
Maybe your second favorite is one in Amsterdam.
Oh, Stephen and Penelope.
Stephen Penelope.
Yep, that's a good one. There's 2 that I really want to hit up sooner rather than later.
In Texas.
They're not in Texas.
In Canada.
One is in Canada.
Espatrico, is that how you say it?
Espatrico.
Espatrico?
Yes, Espatrico. And do you know who Red Bank Mike is? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. That yarn
Chelsea
shop.
Yarns?
Chelsea
Chelsea
Yarns.
Yarns, there we go.
Chelsea Yarns, yep. So, yep, want to go see that. Our goal is that whenever we travel, we stop at least one yarn shop, if there's a local yarn shop, or one within a close driving distance that we can do. And so far, we've been able to do that. He was so sweet. On our 1-year anniversary, he took me into, what's the name of that? I think it's Black Mountain Spinnery or something like that. It's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, right downtown. And basically we walked in and you said you can have anything you want, which was like a dream. Although I will say sometimes you can kind of get on my nerve a little bit in a yarn store, because I'll be looking and browsing and I maybe have something in mind, or I just want to take the whole store in, and he'll be, do you like this? Do you like this? This would be cool. Do you want this? What about this one? Did you see this one? I'm like,
or this one's ugly.
Yeah, he will do that. Thank you for not showing one. Yeah, he'll be like, that's a weird color. I'm like, really? What if the yarn dyer was there? No, what if somebody said that about your yarn?
Well, then if they said about yarn, I'd say, sorry.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Somebody else, I'd apologize.
You're silly. Is there any yarn destination that I want to go to?
Yarn destination?
Mm-hmm. It's not a yarn shop?
The Shetland Islands. Be a destination you want to go?
Yes, that is true.
See the sheep?
Mm-hmm. That would be a true statement. There's a couple other things that I want to do.
A couple other things?
Well, like yarn events that I want to go to.
Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck would be one of them.
You want to go to the Edinburgh
Yarn Festival in Scotland. Yep.
Is that it?
One more.
India Untangled.
That kind of goes with Rhinebeck.
/ I thought it was actually Indian Tangled.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
I'd never seen it written. I just heard her saying it.
Yeah, Indie Untangled.
Indie Untangled. Thought it was Indian Tangled.
A tangled Indian? No. Anyway, one more.
Is it in the U.S.?
Yes, it's in several places in the U.S. It moves.
You want to go to that big show, right? What's it called? There's in New York. What's it called? Vogue knitting thing. That works.
Vogue knitting thing. Yes, I want to go to Vogue Knitting Live, preferably the one in New York, but possibly one of the other ones. Eventually want to do that. So, yeah.
Cool.
Is there any knitting, yarny destination you want to go to? I know you think Shetland and, of course, Edinburgh and stuff would be cool because you can see the sheep and the farms, and just go to Scotland in general.
Not really. That works for me. I'm easy.
You are. And I love you.
Me too.
Thanks for not thinking I'm having the weirdest hobby in the world.
No problem.
And thanks for letting me, not forcing, you didn't force me, but pushing me to open the shop.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people are very happy that you did that.
Me too.
Okay. So now on to the real part of the podcast, which you can still be my helper.
Do I need to sit here?
You can.
Oh, okay.
You can be my helper. So this is where we will go through. Excuse me. Huh?
I need to go.
Okay, you can go.
Love you.
I love you. Oh, goodness. Okay. Don't make too much noise. Can you lock the door on your way out, please?
Sorry.
such a goofball. Okay, now on to the real
Front door.
Now on to the real part of the podcast. Okay, so my works in progress. I cast on the sleeve for Josh's sweater. So you can see here. We have the sleeve, and I am about to start not knitting in the round anymore, but going back and forth in rows to create the upper part of the sleeve, because it'll be a set-in sleeve, and so you knit into the round, basically up to the armpit, and then you create the kind of the bell shape of the sleeve. So you can see all my increases on here. So it turned out really nice. I did do a different cast on than the pattern called for. I found that the pattern, well, it's in error somehow because it does not actually work when you do that. And if you compare it to, because it's the same cast on that you did in the beginning where you did the bottom rib, which worked great. And I had no problems with that, but they are written completely different, and it appears that there's a whole section missing in the sleeve because they tell you to repeat 2 rows that are 2 setup rows, which are not the 2 rows that you repeated after the setup in the hem. And so I tried doing it that way, and it still didn't quite work. So anyway, I just went with a long-tailed tubular cast on, which mimics the look of what is on the bottom hem because it is a type of a tubular cast on, and it looks great. It fits the cuff. I did size down considerably to knit the cuff. The pattern itself calls for, I believe, a US 5 and a US 6. I have knit the bulk of the sweater on a US 5, a few sections on a US 4, and then the ribbing on the sleeves. I believe I did the ribbing on the main part of the sweater on a 3, and I've done the ribbing on the sleeves to get the right gauge on a 2.5 US. So I've had to experiment a lot with needle sizes to get gauge and to also create the look and feel of a sweater that Josh is wanting. He likes a more, not a gapey, loose sleeve, and so the cuff to be fairly snug, yet not claustrophobic-y. So there's that. The yarn that I've been using for his sweater is Harrisville Designs Watershed, which is a virgin wool, kind of a tweed, very nice and rustic. It's a great yarn for cabling. It shows great definition, and even in such a dark color, it's really popping quite nicely. Oh goodness. So I worked on that sleeve. So my goal is to go ahead and get the top knit up and bound off on that sleeve, and to cast on the second sleeve, and to go ahead and block that sleeve, because you block all the pieces and then pick up for the collar and the button bands. Then I was able to get quite a bit done on my throwback cardie. In fact, we are down to just the sleeves and neck and button band. So the body of the sweater is done. You can take a look. We have the nice ribbing down here, 4 inches of really nice chunky ribbing, and I'll show you the back. It's easier to see. This is the yoke. So this has turned out really, really nice. Really love it. Super quick. And yes, it is shorter. It will block out and grow a little bit, but this basically, even right now unblocked, hits me right at the top of my hips. And I didn't want to make it super long. I wanted to keep the original kind of the look from the pattern. So it is more of a, I'll say, true waist hitting cardigan. It's not really cropped. You could make it cropped easily, but it's not truly cropped. It's just, it hits right at the top of your hip bones, rather than going down over your bum or anything like that. There are people who elongate it, and that's totally fine. Just when it says to start for the ribbing, if it's not long enough, then just go longer. The yarns that I've used, the base here, this is, and this has not been blocked or even steamed, so it looks a little wrinkly. This is Dream in Color, Unimaginable. And then for the yoke, we have Golden Time by Dream in Color. We have Yerba and Paris Night by Malabrigo. This is all worsted weight yarn. So my goal on that is to go home today, because today, other than laundry, I've got dinner in a crock pot. I've already kind of tidied up the house a little bit. Just had to do this podcast. It's kind of a dreary day. I'm going to sneak into my office at home and close the door and knit. When I get tired of knitting or get a hand cramp, then I'm going to probably clean out my yarn closet, because that's in desperate need of a clean out. Okay. So I got those 2 projects worked on, and I feel really accomplished because I am behind. So, spoiler alert, Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. If by some miracle you have managed to avoid all spoilers, turn away now. Otherwise, you're going to get a spoiler. So, turn away now. I have finished one side of Clue 2. Yay! So happy. So, I'm just leaving it on this needle. I'm going to also today go home and pick up on this side for Clue 2. And hopefully, before Clue 4 launches, I will have Clue 2 completed and started on Clue 3. So I know I'm behind, and it's okay. It's really not bothering me. I've got a lot of stuff in the works that I'm trying to push through and get finished. So it's really not that big of a deal. But I do want to work on this week and get it done. That and my test knit are the only projects that I've worked on this week. Of course, I can't show you the test knit right now. A test knit is bogging me down for some reason. I don't know if it's I will say there's a lot of repetition. Knitting basically the same pattern and the same sequences over and over again. And there's a lot of stitches on the needle, and it's brioche. And so I think I'm just I may be getting a little bit burned out on brioche, which is shocking to me. But I'm thinking that might be it, because I am just struggling to work on it. It's a great pattern. I think it's awesome. It's going to look amazing, but it's just like, oh my word. And I think too, I love the yarn that I picked. It's great. It's not me. It's a great shop sample. It's not, I guess I don't have that, oh my gosh, I want to wear this the second it's off the needles, because it's not really my colors. So maybe that, the lack of drive to want to wear it, perhaps, I'm not sure. But anyway, that is all that I have worked on this week. My goal, so the only goal really this week that I did not get accomplished from last episode, because I wanted to get the sleeve cast on for Josh's sweater, and I've got the sleeve almost finished. I wanted to finish either the sleeves or the body of my throwback cardie, whichever I did first, and I was just on a roll with the body, so we just motored through. So I got that done, and I wanted to work on Stephen West's Mystery Knit Along, so I got that done. The only thing I really didn't get done was working on, my Birds of a Feather. So, yeah, hopefully I'll work on that today. I think I'm on just a plain, I think I have like 2 rows left of a lace section and then on a plain garter, so I'll probably want to try and get that motored through today. So once I finish the throwback cardie and Josh's cardigan, I will still need one more sweater for my 12 years of the sweater, or 12 sweaters in a year. I'm 90% positive I'm going to do So Faded by Andrea Mowry, the So Faded cardie. And I realize I don't really have a lot of cardigans. I have my Samal cardigan by Joji Locatelli, but it's definitely on the snug and super fitted side. So I don't wear it a ton. Plus it's kind of, for me, it's more of like an evening wear sweater. So it's a fancier sweater. Probably because of the fine gauge and everything else, but I'm thinking the So Faded cardie, but I'm not going to fade it. I'm going to make it more kind of stripy. Still following the sequence of the fades, but using more solid colors and ones that aren't necessarily going to fade into each other. So I haven't fully made up my mind yet. And hey, I might even strand it with mohair because I just can't get enough. That idea just popped into my head because I saw this mohair that's super neutral and I think would go with all of the colors that I was planning on. I think that might tie everything in together really cool. I don't know. I have no idea. But okay. So that's all my works in progress. My goal did I just say my goals? No, I did last week's goals. So my goals in knitting today, this week will be to finish Clue 2 of the Mystery Knit Along, to do the sleeves of my throwback cardie, do the second sleeve and seam the Josh's cardigan, and possibly go ahead and do the collar and button band. I'd really like to finish that one this week. And I think it's possible because the sleeve has gone very fast once I got going on it. I'm using the 12-inch Chai-Gu needles for the sleeve and it's flying. So that's a plus. If you don't like sleeves, try the 12-inch Chai-Gus because they really, really help. So now on to new things in the shop. So we have quite a few. Get them. I'm sure, of course, if you follow us on Instagram, you will have seen already the new things, but we're going to do a little up close and personal. So we got a restock of our Knitters backpacks. We have, of course, we still have black in stock, but we got in more of the fawn tree bark brown, which is great neutral brown. Really love this shade of brown. Then we got in for the first time the neutral. So the nice neutral cream canvas. And it has a very light kind of neutral leather band up here. And I know some people are like, oh, it's cream, it's going to get dirty really fast or anything. But here's what I think you should do with a neutral bag. If you are into painting on canvas, like with fabric paints, I think this would be a great like blank canvas to do some decorative stenciling on here, to put your initials or monogram on it in fabric paint. You know, you could, if you're really artsy, do a freehand design, anything like that. I think that would be really cool and just make it totally your own. Whether you put pins on it or not, but that would be just a really fun thing to do with the Knitters backpack in the cream, because that would really show up and pop. Then this might be my favorite. This is, and it's not showing up, the true green at all. That's a little better. This is the Pine Green Knitter's Backpack. Oh, I just love it. So pretty. Comes with the brown straps. So gorgeous. And then this is the Midnight, the navy blue. Let's see if we can get a good... There we go. That's a good color. So this is the blue and comes with the brown straps. So yeah, those are our Knitter's Backpacks. We also got in a ChiaoGoo needle order. And so with ChiaoGoos, we got restocked in our 5-inch tips. So all sizes in 5-inch for interchangeables. We got all sizes in twist cords. And we have most sizes of the spin cords. Now, I do say all sizes, but in interchangeable needles, ChiaoGoo has what they call the small and the large. The small are what go from US 3 to US 8. Those are what we have in interchangeable, so they all go with the small cords. Anything larger than a US 8, that would be a US 9 and above, on interchangeable would require a large cord. We do not have the large cords, and we do not have the large size in interchangeable, but we do have them on fixed. We also got in for the first time the 4-inch tips for interchangeables. So if you were looking for 4-inch tips rather than 5, we do have those now. And like I said, we got in the full assortment of 32-inch fixed ChiaoGoos. So we go all the way down to, I believe, 2. There are 2 or 3. And then all the way up to, this is a 15, but we go all the way up to 17. So we have everything that you might need in a fixed. We also have 12-inch and 8-inch fixed, and we'll be expanding our offerings of fixed circulars as well. We did get in some more fixed circulars a couple weeks ago of Likes, so for those that prefer the fixed in Likey, we do have that as well. Like I said, that's the 12-inch. We didn't get any new ones of that, but we do have those for sleeve knitting. We also got in complete sets. So we offered both types of sets that ChiaoGoo offers, which is the small and the complete. So the small, this is the small 5-inch, and this contains US 2 to US 8. So the small set in 5-inch. We have a 5-inch tip and 4-inch tip. They're both $100. Then we have the complete sets. So the complete sets give you US 2 through US 15 in both the 5-inch and the 4-inch tips. Now, not in the same kit. So we have the complete in a 5-inch and then the complete in a 4-inch. So take your pick. We have all of those sets. So perfect for Christmas gift. The complete sets, by the way, are $170. Perfect for Christmas gifts, Christmas gift for yourself, you know, all sorts of stuff. Let's see what else. I think that's it for needles. We did get a restock of Coco Knit items, so we have more neutral and colorful stitch stoppers. So we have those restocked. Also, those make great stocking stuffers. So do these. These are the small stitch markers, the colorful stitch markers. So these are the nylon coated steel, so they're magnetic, which is easy to find, and they go up to a US 7. So great for your smaller things. You don't want your yarn overs getting slipped over or things like that, and they're brightly colored. You get 60. Yeah, you get 60 in this case. So that's a pretty good deal for $10. We also have the Coco Knits. This is the triangular stitch markers where you get the 3 different sizes, the small, medium, and large, in the tin in black and white. So we got those restocked. We got curved metal cable needles restocked, stitch fixers restocked, and bamboo cable needles in multiple sizes. Contains US 2, US 4, US 6, US 9, and US 10. And tapestry needles. These are bent tapestry needles. You get 2 small and 2 large tapestry needles. So great for weaving in your ends. And again, all those make great little stocking stuffers. You know, get a stitch fixer and a skein of yarn, and it goes together as a great little gift for your fiber friends. Okay, the other thing we got in is our hedgehog order. So if you were wanting the original Find Your Fade, we are restocked in the original Find Your Fade set. So, boom. Ta-da! So we go with, starting over here, with Poison. No, let's start over here. Pollen, Fool's Gold, Harvest, Monarch, Rosehip, Sorry, and Poison. So that is the original colors from Andrea Mowry's Find Your Fade, and we have them all in stock. And if you were one of the people who pre-ordered or pre-reserved your Find Your Fade kit, or the 3 limited edition colors, the Rosehip, Sorry, and Harvest, we have those set aside for you. Just need to come on in and pick them up. Okay, so we do have now a nice selection of Sorry, Rosehip. So this is the Sorry color. I just love it. And it's Sorry, S-A-R-I. Such a rich color. We have that. We have Rosehip. And we have, of course, the Harvest. The Harvest is such a pretty, almost neutral, buttery yellow. Love it. So we have all of those colors. We also got in a few new colors on Skinny Single that we haven't had before in the shop. One colorway I already sold out. We have Anemone. Anemone was the colorway that was in one of Vera Valimecki's patterns. It's a little sweater T-top. I believe that was in Interpretations 5. It was Anemone. So it's a beautiful color. Nice, perfect coral color. Deep End. Look how rich this color is. So you have the perfect cerulean teal blues. You have darker teal blues. You have these rusty colors. Kind of a rust and a lighter, almost olive green. And then bright orchid purple pops. Beautiful color. Got a restock of Kimono. So we had Kimono in earlier, and it sold out fairly quickly. So this is your rich navy with orange, green, and kind of a fuchsia pink pops with some white space still in there, which is really nice. And then Goblin. I only have like 2 left of Goblin already. It's quite a color. I've never quite seen, look at that. It's not even showing up nearly as good. That's close. This color, it's like, well, what customers have been saying is it's almost like a Frankenstein green. So it's that perfect Halloween-y kind of mint, but not mint, not sagey. It's not a brown tone. It's definitely a gray, cold, minty green with this kind of magenta and orange and yellow speckles, and then big bold things of charcoal. It's really awesome. It's called Goblin, and I've got 2 skeins left. see, and then we got, of course, stocked up again on mohair, or hair of the mow, as Chelsea Yarns loves to call it. And it is scrumptious. So we got in some new colors. Pinky Swear. Perfect bright pink. This would pair so beautifully with, I believe it's Flamingo by Ching Fibers. Perfect pairing. We got in Monet. Beautiful, soft, just kind of blues, teals, purples, and little pops of this kind of rusty color. It's really pretty. We got in Sage. Again, kind of a mint and olive green combo. We got in Park Life. So a lot of these colors we have already the coordinating skinny single or a color from Ching or one of our other dyers that would coordinate with it very well. So you could do either Birds of a Feather, you could strand for a sweater, you could add it into an Ingle sweater or Hayward, you could do a frosted cowl or frosting cowl. A lot of options with your mohair. This is Sorbet. Really fun, bright oranges and greens and pinks, and it's not really any blue. I mean, there's the tiniest little specks of blue, but it's mostly the orange, greens, and purples, which is really cool. Then this looks similar to Monet, but it's definitely, Monet is more teal, and Budgie's more blue with a hint of periwinkle. Then Cereal, which is a great neutral, rich, taupey golden brown with little specks of teal and burgundy. I'm thinking I might, if I decide to strand yarn, but got a little fachaded here. Okay, I might strand my So Faded Cardi with this. Might do that. Then we got Monarch. Bright oranges and peaches. And we did get a restock of more Hawk. I will say this batch of Hawk is not as black as the last batch of Hawk on mohair. This one definitely has more of the champagne and the brighter colors in it, but it's still beautiful. And we got in more of the Construct or Concrete. Yeah, it's Concrete. My barcode label has Construct written on it, but it's Concrete. Perfect gray with bits of gold and rust and purple. And then this one, Underworld. If you want the bright greens and the bright blues, royal blues, perfect. And probably one of my favorites is Ink. So the perfect rich blue. Borderline, it's like a bright navy. So pretty. Very similar to what I held with Malabrigo Machita for my Hayward. Very similar color. Okay, I think that is all for new acquirements into the shop. Oh, we did get in a fringe maker. I didn't bring it over here, but it is a handy thing if you are doing projects with a lot of fringe and you want to be precise and not have to trim your fringe afterwards, and or you are concerned about running out of yarn. You can make fringe or tassels to the exact length that you're wanting, up to 8 inches. So if you're doing big, like What the Fade, or even an Aura shawl, or just anything where you're doing a lot of tassels, there's the big I always forget the name of it, but the big faded crescent with the huge row of fading tassels and fringe, that would be really handy for it. So we did get those in. I think that's really about it. So thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast and putting up with Josh and I's little antics at the beginning. If you are enjoying the podcast, I really would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscribe. If you are listening but you're not getting notifications, then click the little bell down below, and that will get you a notification of when the next episode is posted. Typically, I record on Mondays and get the podcast uploaded either later on Monday or on Tuesday mornings. So, unless I'm out of town or we have to, because of holiday or something, reschedule when I film, that's typically the standard schedule. As far as events or anything going on in the shop, we are currently not doing any more trunk shows until December, when we have Savvy Skeins coming in December 8th, which will be fantastic. We do have a couple classes. We just put another beginner knitting class on the books, and we put that will go on the website probably later today. And we have our Christmas ornament class, and we have Christmas gift class coming up as well. And then, of course, holiday hours are coming up. We will be open the day before Thanksgiving, but only from 10 to 2 p.m. We will be closed Thanksgiving Day, obviously, and we will be open the day after Thanksgiving, normal hours, though, 10 to 5. Not going to do any super break your neck open thing. But we will have good sales on Black Friday and on Small Business Saturday. What else? We will be... so for Christmas, the week that Christmas is, I'm going to go ahead and putting it out there. The week of Christmas, which is like the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th. I would look on my phone, but it's recording. That week, we will be closed for the whole week of Christmas. We will reopen, so I believe it is Saturday, the 22nd will be our last day open before Christmas, and we will reopen the shop January 1st. So we will be open January 1st on New Year's Day, so you can come in and get your yarn fix first thing in the year, or get away from too much family at your house if you need to. But we will be closed the full week of Christmas. So get your fix in before, and we will then see you, of course, all throughout the holidays, I'm sure. Already planning on what we're doing for next year and all of the fun trunk shows and events and things like that. So keep tuned to our email list, to the Instagram feed at The Modern Skein. My personal is at Mrs_Sharon_Graf. And watch the website for class information and, of course, our Instagram feed. And like I said, subscribe to the newsletter if you are interested in getting our once-a-month newsletter. I think that'll do it. So thanks again for tuning in. We really love it when you guys are enjoying the podcast. And we will see you in the shop, hopefully this week or sometime in the near future. Bye-bye.